Yo, what is cracking, fam? It is your boy, Brandon the Wizard. Welcome to the first episode of, this type of format of video. I'm calling this the Wizard Sesh. So those of you that are tuning in, welcome to the Wizard Sesh. What I'm doing here in these videos, I'm going over, some digital artwork that I've been putting together. For different comic books and comic book panels. A lot of this stuff takes a long time to come out with, so I just want to hit you guys with weekly updates of different things that I've done and that I'm doing. This character that I'm working on right here is called Obsidian. Obsidian is a project that I started with Indigo Clan Comics maybe like 4 years ago now. I went through like 3 or 4 different versions of this character style while working with him. No telling when the actual book itself will come out. I did take it on my behalf to actually use Obsidian. I own the rights to this character, of course, to continue his story, and so I'm going to put out a lot of these videos where I worked on some of these pages for Obsidian, and I'll continue his story with new adventures and stuff. So you could expect to see him in the next couple months. Actually, I've been writing his script and his character, since the conception since the beginning of 2020. And this was the one of the later. This is actually older time lapse. I've been working on this guy for about. This one is about 2 years old, a year and a half old. See, what happened was we started the project, and, for whatever reason, funding and other reasons, the project was it got prolonged out, some of the pages, and we ended up about to hit the release date. So I kind of wanted to extend it to like another month or so to bring in a better style. And then after that, we never heard about where the project was going after that. So I decided to keep using the character. I've had some newer designs that I've been doing recently. They're like way better than this, but this is actually pretty great. I love this design. This particular drawing is actually a scene I'm gonna throw on a page. You're gonna see that later. I did it separately. I did it on a separate what do you call it? I'm losing my words right now. Jesus. I put it on a separate project on Photoshop, because I wanted this to be a sticker as well. So some of these designs I made them in separate files from the actual pages, as you'll see what I'm talking about as I go along here. See, as I open up another file, the page you're originally on, I think was page 2 from the original comic. But yeah, I like working in Photoshop. Photoshop's my main tool for doing this kind of work, comic books and character designs. I use the standard brush packs on there, and I also got a manga brush pack from the Adobe website. I use that with a combination of brushes I got from a website, if not mistaken, True Grit. I use some of the textures from True Grit as well. Well, yeah, as I was saying, this is from the page, so now I'm actually placing them on the page, throwing some of the effects on there, and bam, on something else. This is actually page 6. Yeah, this is page 6. I'm definitely evolved This is 2 years ago as well, just to let you guys know. I've definitely evolved my style from here. Photoshop is a great tool that is never stops. You can never stop learning things on there. I went for like more of a graffiti style for this book. I want everything to look like it was slapped out in someone's notebook real quick, you know what I'm saying? Just to give you a quick premise of the book, so a lot of these kids inside the book, they get their parents were getting experimented on, you know, they're volunteering for these experiments, and they're testing these super serums, and they didn't work on them, and it ended up affecting the offspring. So some of these kids end up getting powers. With the main character, Obsidian, he gets powers from this way, and along with the kids in the neighborhood. And not every kid in the neighborhood wants to be a hero, if you catch my drift. Like, some of the kids want to be villains, so that's what inspires Obsidian to, you know, fight crime and whatnot. So that's the premise of the story. These guys that I'm drawing right here in these panels on the bottom left and right, they are the scientists that Eric Stone and Professor Algrim, they are the creators of these serums and these weapons that are bioweapons that create humans into like mutants, or like, I want to say that, or that creates them into I had this cool thing I was looking at the other day from Greg Braden. Not the other day, something I delve into heavily in my life. They talk about so many words are escaping me. Sorry, this is my freaking first time really kind of busting out this. But yeah, they're talking about how humans have this dormant power with them from their DNAs not being connected, and these serums that they are creating in these labs are unlocking these hidden dormant DNA strands and giving these people extraordinary powers like super strength, psychic powers, telekinesis, advanced reflexes, and that kind of thing. So that's the kind of powers some of the kids are messing with inside the Obsidian universe. And it's not all the kids, it's like a small group of kids. It's like 10 to 20 kids in the city that have this power, and even less of them are active in using their powers and either committing crimes or being heroes. Long story short, this book, or these character Obsidian, I'm gonna start crossing him over with another comic book that I've been doing with my buddy Rob Nori, where he's doing the pencils and I'm doing the colors and the inks and the writing. It's called Codename Bob. That's a character I've been developing and working on since I was in high school. I'm in my 30s now. I had a whole band behind this character when I was in high school, and I used to like make little comic book strips and show my friends and stuff. But now that I really started learning the tools of like Photoshop and Illustrator the last couple years, outside of, I'm mostly a painter. Outside of painting, I started really delving into this comic book design. I'm like, I'm gonna bring Codename Bob back, and me and my buddy Rob Nori have been working on the Codename Bob for a little over a year, actually longer than that. We started working on like 4 or 5 years ago, and then we just started picking it up and like redesigning pages and characters maybe a year ago. So this comic book's in a crossover with that one, and all the stuff you can check out on my Patreon, by the way. You can see the even more behind the scenes character designs and character development of Obsidian on my Patreon, and you also could check out some of the pages that we have done so far of Codename Bob. The Patreon, it's for people that really want to support, that want to check it out and see the behind the scenes work. These some of these books are not scheduled to be released for a while now, but I wanted to have like an early entry for people that want to see this kind of stuff, and you know, exclusive interviews and whatnot, and that kind of thing. As you can see, this comic book is heavily hip-hop influenced. The style of the drawing is kind of hip-hop vibe, you know, the heavy outlines and the marker look, you know, that's what I was going for. Also too, like the cats are using drum machines and beat machines. You're gonna see other pages like that where they're using like drum machines and they're in the studio working and stuff like that. I want to capture that into the comic, because that in itself, hip-hop is just a big part of my life, you know, just producing beats, going to studios, meeting up with other MCs. I want to put that kind of feel into the comic book as an underlying theme, so you're gonna catch a lot of that in Obsidian universe. But also too, in the Codename Bob universe, I kind of based that energy on, you know, punk rock and like metal and kind of some of that my teenage energy, so that shit has a lot of that in it, and the characters are actually based slightly on the personalities of the people around me when I was in high school. So it's a lot of my friends' energy and their vibrations and stuff like that. So yeah, but just to tell you a little more about Obsidian, Professor Algrim and Eric Stone right there, they work together to make the serum. They are not friends. Eric Stone has his company called Mimir Industries, where he's kind of hunting down these kids and like trying to get them to like work for him and mutilate them and stuff even more. And then Professor Algrim also wants to clean the streets of these superhuman kids, but he also wants to destroy Eric Stone for starting everything. And so there's a lot of crazy intertwining things like that going on in there with those characters. The first issue is not long, and it kind of lays out a lot of cool stuff, which is why I decided to continue it. I grew attached to the characters while writing it. I grew attached to the art style. I love the art style. It looks really cartoon, hip hop, graffiti. I actually have homies on some pages that did graffiti on some of the pages. I have some real homies from crews donating their time and their energy to making this project even more hip-hop than it already is. I want to make sure it kind of encompassed like even the local scene as much as possible. I was going back and touching him up. He was kind of messed up, so I'm just like, on this part I just kind of went back, even though the colors were done. That's kind of like refining the details. It looks good. Yeah, I'm not the best comic book artist, but I feel like I am an extraordinary storyteller, and I know how to write good comedy. This comic book also has the vibe of like Batman and Robin, but also like Rick and Morty kind of vibe. So that's kind of why I went for this cool cartoony style as well. There's a lot of jokes in there. There's a lot of humor about 90s gangster culture and 90s just pop culture in general, as far as like music and like boom bap goes, and like yeah, there's a lot of hip-hop tropes in there and stereotypes of like boom bap and mainstream hip-hop, and like it's funny. A lot of funny stuff. I think the comedy inside this book is what's gonna drag it along, because now it has a series of like Batman or something, of like X-Men or something, but it also has the comedic vibes of Rick and Morty, or like Aqua Teen Hunger Force or something like that. I really want to find a balance of like making something that's like conscious but also like hilarious, and it can reach a broader audience besides the typical audience I've been making art for. Finalizing the lines. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for checking me out. This is the first one of many Wizard Sessions. Every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. You can keep seeing videos like this. I love and appreciate you. Thanks for checking me out. One love. Oh yeah, don't forget to check me out, www.brandonthewizardart.com. Also follow me on Instagram at BeTheWizardArt, where you can find links to all the stuff I'm talking about with the Patreon, the comic books, and yeah, a lot of more stuff is coming. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed.